Mirror, mirror on the wall, is Snow White good at all? Let's dig in. Disney's live action version of Snow White just came out this past weekend, and it takes you on the journey of Snow White as a kid who dealt with the loss of her parents at a very young age. Then she ends up living with her stepmother, who is the evil queen, and the evil queen has her working as a maid in her castle for her. Once the evil queen asks the mirror who the fairest of them all is, and the mirror responds back that Snow White is the fairest, evil queen is outraged and she wants Snow White killed. So she orders the huntsman to take she orders the huntsman to take Snow White out of the forest to pick some apples, and she wants the huntsman to cut her heart out. Sounds brutal, doesn't it? And put it in a box and give it back to the evil queen. Soon as that happened, Snow White was picking apples, and then she hands over to the huntsman an apple, and the huntsman liked it. She thought she was nice, and he just says, I'm not going to do this. You go ahead, you get out of here, you run away. So she does end up running away, and she runs away in the forest, and then she stumbles upon a cottage, and that's where she meets the seven dwarfs. I'm not going to get into this movie, I'm just giving you my opinion of it. But I think, I don't know what they're thinking, like having the dwarfs CGI. I thought maybe they could have had like actual human characters. I think that would have had a better look. They didn't go into much detail on each of the dwarfs. They pretty much focused on Dopey, Doc, and Grumpy. I don't know. They had their Whistle While You Work song. They had their Hi Ho song, and most of the movie was just centered around, of course, Snow White, who was played by Rachel Zegler, and the evil queen, who was played by Gal Gadot. I don't have a lot of history of watching either of those guys' movies. I know Gal played Wonder Woman, and I haven't watched that, so I didn't know what to think of coming into this movie. It was a musical, and I don't even know if each of these actresses were singers. I think Rachel Zegler was in West Side Story, I believe, but again, I haven't seen that, so I didn't know what to expect. But I was pretty impressed with both of those actors. I think they played the parts well. Gal Gadot was awesome. I wish we seen more of her as the evil queen. She had a good look to her. All her scenes were good. There was the one scene when she went to go meet, or she finds out Snow White is still alive, and she goes to meet Snow White, and when evil queen goes to meet Snow White into the forest, she turns into a hag, and the way they had that happen, that was awesome. And then there was a group of bandits that Snow White got to meet, and there was a dwarf in, like a human dwarf in one of the bandits. Like he could have played one of the dwarfs. And same with Peter Dinklage. I love him. He's a great actor. He could have been a dwarf, but I don't know. They wanted to do CGI dwarf, so they did it. I like the movie. It wasn't the greatest thing I've seen. I felt like they rushed a lot of it. Like the Snow White, when she gathered the cottage with all the animals, which were, again, those were CGI'd. She gathered the bandits, the animals, the dwarfs, and they try to take over the castle from the evil queen. Um, that felt super rushed. Again, I'd rather see the evil queen just rule. She was awesome, but it wasn't bad. The music, again, wasn't bad. Nothing memorable. Like if you saw Wicked and then you drove home, you probably got all the Wicked songs stuck in your head. But I didn't have anything stuck in my head for any music from Snow White. Would I rewatch it? I probably would. I'd probably watch it one more time. That's about it. And if I were to grade it from A to B, or my bad, A to F, I probably would give it a C. And maybe a 3 out of 5. Wasn't too bad. Movie theaters this weekend so far, there wasn't a lot of people in the theaters to watch it. Like I'm just going back on the last Disney movies I saw, like Moana. Like everyone came to see that. So if I'm comparing to Moana, then this is nothing. There's a lot of people watching the Alto Nights with Robert De Niro. There's a new movie with Bill Skarsgård and Anthony Hopkins. Some people were watching that. It's called Locked. Other than that, wasn't a bad movie. Impressed with both Snow White and the Evil Queen. Evil Queen was awesome. Thought they should have put her more in the movie. The lead guy, Jonathan, he was for Bandits. He was one of the bandits. His name was Jonathan. I never seen him in a movie before. Never heard of him, but he did nothing to. For me, he did nothing to think he's like a standout actor. But I don't know. Next week we got 3 movies coming out. We have Death of a Unicorn, Woman in the Yard, and Jason Statham's Working Man. That'll be a fun one. Whole bunch of new movies coming out next week, and that is the last week of March. So at the end of March, we'll do another March recap. Looks like Snow White will probably have the most money coming in of the month, but we got Minecraft coming April. That's probably gonna blow Snow White away. But other than that, I hope you guys get to go see it, and thanks for watching.